And this episode showed me how much I don't know about the 90s because I don't know what Clerks is. Earlier in the episode, Leia says that like her favorite movie is Free Willy, and I don't know what that is either. I was born in 1999, but I don't really know that much about 90s movies. Okay, I just watched episode 2 of that 90s show. Before I go into it, I want to clear up that I forgot to mention in episode 1, it ends off with Leia convincing her parents, mostly Eric, to let her stay at her grandparents' house, which is Eric's old house in the original show. And yeah, they let her stay over for the summer. So now the show is just her chilling at her grandparents' house. In the last episode, Kitty invites all the kids to just come over the house whenever they want. So when they're in the basement, she gives them a bunch of Eric's old stuff, and unknowingly, Kitty gave them weed. So all the kids and Leia are like, "Should we smoke it?" And all the kids are like, "Yeah," but she's kind of a goody two shoes, so she's like, "I don't know." They end up smoking it anyway, and yeah, they all get high together. But throughout the episode, Leia is still incredibly insecure about having friends, I guess. So she feels like an imposter because this is not stuff she would usually do. And after they get high and all that, she wants to think of more stuff they can do that isn't debaucherous, I guess. And she decides, like Kitty suggests that she does a movie night. So this is the 90s, and they go to Blockbusters, and she doesn't know what movie to pick because she's still insecure. She doesn't want to look lame in front of them. And she ends up just asking one of her friends who works at the Blockbuster, like, what movies do you watch? He suggests Clerks. And this episode showed me how much I don't know about the 90s because I don't know what Clerks is. Earlier in the episode, Leia says that like her favorite movie is Free Willy, and I don't know what that is either. I was born in 1999, but I don't really know that much about 90s movies. On a side note, I might watch Free Willy now because they mentioned it in this. Let's go over to the parents, well, grandparents side of the episode. They are pretty. They have a very interesting story. I love their relationship because it's just like how it was before with the original show. And Red and Kitty always have great scenes together. Like you can tell why they're married, but they can show that they're like happily married, but they can still have problems. You know, it's a great like relationship, a great depiction of a relationship in a TV show. So I like that Red is always pissed off and Kitty just loves everything. And she even says in the episode, like, I think Red is like, why did you bring chaos back into our home? And Kitty is like, I miss the chaos. And then ultimately their argument ends with them both having sex. So I mean that's a great relationship right there. They solved it by having sex with each other. And then some comedic stuff happens when it turns out that their next door neighbor who was invited over to take a shower by Kitty was actually in the room. She was taking a shower and she's like, "Oh, I was waiting for you guys to finish because you just started going at it when I was about to leave." And then before I forget, there was also a cameo by Leo. He comes back in this episode, and I mean he's a funny guy. You know, he gave some laughs, getting high jokes, and that's what they did earlier in the episode. And then there was a surprise at the very end of the episode. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to click off now. But the next door neighbor has been talking about how she's going to go on a date with some guy, and she needs to break off the relationship. And it turns out the guy she's been dating was Fez this whole time. So Fez shows up at the very end, and then it kind of cuts to black. So it's kind of like a cliffhanger to the episode. We're going to see what she does. Is she going to break up with Fez? And how's that going to affect the rest of the TV show? So this was another solid episode. I really like this like reboot, I guess, or it's not a reboot. It's more like a sequel. I like this sequel series. It's actually pretty entertaining. Makes me want to go back and watch the original. So leave your thoughts below in the comments and let me know what you thought of the second episode of that 90s show.